All right. I heard about a magazine from the United Kingdom that is huge. And so I trotted my little butt over to Barnes and Noble, and I found another magazine. So this was $8 UK, which would be probably about $6 American. And it was $22.50 American, which you might think, oh my gosh, that is ridiculous. $22 for a magazine. Look at this magazine. This is insane. It must weigh 200 pounds. And like, this is glossy. This could be the cover of a journal. But we're going to pick some images for a magazine collage out of the giant book, right? So what I was taking a class from Diane Reevely, and what she said was, say you only have $22.50 to buy magazines. You could buy 4 regular magazines, and you would never get as many pictures and images and things that you would get from this giant magazine. Like, this is a book of fashion images. Let's just call a spade, right? We're gonna find something that is cool. And what I love about, I have another magazine. I did the Vogue Italia one-page collage, and I'll put a link to that and all the things that I use in this one magazine collage challenge in the description below, in case you want to get anything. But what I love about the Europeans is the girls have boobs and hips, where sometimes in the United States, not to be judgy, but the girls are much skinnier. Tom Ford. Okay. So we're going to look for, oh, look at that. That's a chain. Oh, you could almost see your boobs. Oh, the other thing she said is that there's a lot of nudity. So if I see nudity, I will jump over it for you so that you don't have to be nervous that you're going to see random boobs or winkies, okay? Oh, look at her. I love her. Oh, there's more of them. There's a million of them. I kind of love these people. All right, I am like 3 inches into this, and I'm totally digging this magazine. All right. I got to find something, though, that really sparks my, oh, look, a doggy, my interest. I've seen her in the United States. I've seen her in the United States. I've seen this dress on somebody else in the United States. I've used him. He's a great face. I'm starting to know the European ads. I'm so cool. I'm so cosmopolitan. Honestly, I've been to Canada and Mexico. I am not cosmopolitan. I wish I was. My friend lives in Portugal. I feel like she's very cool. She moved over to Portugal, but I am not cool. All right. Ooh, that's a cool silhouette. That is snazzy. Not good for magazine collage, but snazzy. Oh, how about this for some backgrounds? Yes. Ooh, are we doing something fancy and high tech? Ooh, how fun would that be? Okay. He's got gold dust on him. Ooh, look at that hand. I want the creepy hand. Okay, so we have so far this and this. Look at the creepy hand. What is going on with that? Oh, look good. We got sunglasses. We got sunglasses. This guy's doing his own collage. He's got a purse with legs. So, oh, a gold apple. Oh, I'm using the gold apple. Could we make it that the creepy hand is holding the gold apple. They got lots of creepy hands. Now I feel like I need like a fairy princess or somebody to be in danger, like a scary... If this was opposite, how weird would it be that this would be Cinderella's, you know, fairy godmother slipper? I don't love these, just as a fashion statement, myself. You can wear whatever you want. See how these girls are bigger? I love that. No offense if you're skinny. My Desi, who helps us all the time, is very skinny. Well, that's interesting. Why is she doing that? Huh. I don't like kitten shoes either. I'm going to tell you about all the things I don't like today. And I have a very specific reason for not liking kitten shoes. I am not coordinated enough to wear kitten shoes. They fall off my feet and I trip. Okay, I like her glasses. We're going to put a piece of stuff in there. She looks like a child. I don't like to use children in my work. Tell it to my heart. Tell me I'm the only one. Oh, look at me. I can sing to you. Who is that? Taylor Dane? Tell it to my... I grew up in the very best time to be a young adult and everything. I grew up as I graduated high school. Okay, I am totally going to be using these guys somewhere. I'm going to be using these guys somewhere. Maybe not for this one because we have the creepy gold hand, but there's some cute, cute things going on. Anyways, I graduated high school in 1984, so I was... You figure my childhood, my early adulthood was all the end of the 80s and the early part of the 90s. I was cool then. We were all cool. What about him? Do we make him a creepy... I'm going to make him a creepy person in the back. He's very creepy. There's another one. If you don't know me by now. Paul Smith. Paul Smith looks a trifle like the Wizard of Oz. So now we have to either get him some different eyes. See, he looks too normal there. Look at this outfit. That outfit is way more interesting, Paul Smith, than that one. Oh, look, that's a cool picture where they took little bits of her. Not very good for magazine collage. Tilda Swinton, I know her. She was in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. She is very white. I don't think these are great pictures for my magazine collage. So if you're like stuck for space, I would just start tearing out those the pages that don't have anything on them. I don't keep them forever thinking that, oh, someday I'm going to use this. I love these. Jazz musicians. But I need some eyeballs or something for Paul Smith. I don't want to waste these hats. Look at those green fuzzy coats. Those are superb. something is happening out there. I hate that when they do the bad photography, because it looks cute on a magazine page, but when you cut it out for a magazine collage, all of a sudden it looks like it's out of focus and funky monkey. There's something happening either outdoors or up in the garage or somewhere. I keep hearing noises. All right, I need a small face with eyes. I could also use a scary house in the woods as we do our fairy tale. Ooh, we could do books, right? I do like his eyes, her eyes, their eyes, excuse me. But more so than their eyes, I feel like I would use this. All right, I don't remember what that was, but it wasn't exciting enough to do that. Let's keep the books in mind. Maybe we'll find something else we like better. So, if you're from the United States is, according to my friend from Ireland, the United States is way weirder about sexuality, about cross-dressing, about, you know, boys should dress like this and girls should dress like this. So, if you, and that's fine. Oh, my goodness. What do you think? Could we replace Paul's head with that head and put the crown back on? Well, I'm trying that because I'm not going to do anything else with this stuff. Okay, I'm going to try that. Ooh, these pages are nice. Oh, there's more books. Maybe they'll have another stack of books and I won't have to use that stack on the back of them. Ooh, these are nice. To Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, look at that. Still not a stack of books, people. I could use a stack of books. Oh, do we want a picture in the back? All right, let's think through what we've got. We've got Paul Smith with the blue head and the crown back on. We've got the creepy hand with the apple, and we've got this. I still don't have a girl in jeopardy. I don't think that goes with it, right? We're doing more of a contemporary. Oh, books. Yay, us. Okay, now we don't have to waste that really cool set of eyes from before. Yay, us. All right. I didn't really see any women in jeopardy. Great. Let's not have it be that kind of fairy tale, right? Ooh, look, an elephant foot. Do we want Paul Smith? Oh, Paul Smith doesn't have feet. Do we want his foot to be an elephant foot? I almost want Paul Smith's foot. I can't imagine another one I'm going to do where a random elephant foot is going to be like, oh my gosh, that fits exactly on the bottom of Paul Smith. I almost feel like this could be a creepy guy in the background writing the story. David Hockney is, I don't know if that's David Hockney or if David Hockney is the person. Okay, so that's all I'm going to take out for right now. Oh, look, you've got to be kidding me. That is crazy pants. I'm putting that with my journal stuff. Okay, so let's go back through what we have. We have this, oh, and let's figure out what page we're putting this on. I need my flippy journal. Oh, nope. I need my One Magazine collage journal. So we're going to be going this way. All right. We got to make a whole background. Oh, maybe we don't. Okay, so this is going to have to be black. Ooh, look at that. Were you making a weird noise? It was Johnny. Okay, so this could be here. We could have books on here. How do we think Paul Smith? I don't know. This is awfully red. And Paul Smith is red. Oh, I kind of love that. I've got nothing. I've got this. Let's see. Do we have any other? I kind of like this. That's why I did so many. I have a, remember I told you I seen that girl in a different dress? That's her. Let's see. Do we want to do black? I think that this is a unique, there it is. That's exactly what we needed, right? Because we have these guys. Those, right? Don't you feel like they sort of look like this? Here, I'll show you what I mean. Johnny is cleaning the garage. He is 6'6", and he is a beast. And I have a messy garage, and it's 100% my fault because I used to sell on eBay and Etsy. And next month, I am taking all my leftover inventory to my friend Tina D in Tennessee. And Josiah's coming with me. And he and I are traveling buddies. We drove here over 3 days with dogs in the car from Colorado. And he likes the fact that I will stop every 15 minutes for snacks. And his dad's one of those ones. You get in the car, you don't stop, you pee before you get in. So Josiah and I like traveling together because there's a lot of stopping. So, you see what I mean by these guys being okay? To go with the shape of those background stencils and to give us a little something going on. And I will probably cut these up and move them around the page a little bit because I don't want them to all be like, so say, here we go, halfway. So say I have a little piece of yellow here and a little piece of yellow here and a little piece of red here and a little piece of red here. See, that looks so much better and not so contrived. Oh, let's stick them down. Let us stick them down. I just finished filming a video about gluing your stuff down. So from now on, I am not allowed to just pull images out of magazines and safety pin them or paper clip. Like I can paper clip some edge pieces or something like that. But if I have an idea, I have to stick it down because I literally had a set of 2 pages that I had all the stuff for months that I didn't glue down, and then after a while, it became really intimidating because I was like, I don't even remember what they were. And so from now on, one of my own rules for myself is if I cut things out, I have to glue them down. Oh, don't forget we have books. So this is where we could kind of probably merge books and our creepy stuff. All right, so I'm going to cut out everything and then we will come back and stick it down. Okay, I have good news and I have bad news. So number one, look at my amazing hand on the black background. You can't even see it. It's such a waste of something so cool. So I am going to do this page on this background. Where's my by now? Okay. Oh, there's my by now. Okay, and so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put together Paul Smith, make him a paper doll. So we have to put his crown on, and we're going to put his blue head. And I just had to cut a little nip out of there to make this really go well. So I thought that was a win. I think his head may be a tiny bit small, but since he isn't the feature of this project, I am fine with him. Okay, so there's Paul Smith. And then we have to put on his delightful foot. Right? Like, how often does a elephant foot fit perfectly onto your Paul Smith? Hardly ever, I would think. So there's a little bit more down here and then right across the top there. And I want it to be kind of straight and I want him to be kind of straight. There you go. All right. All right, all right. All right, so I really like how this hand is holding this apple. So I am going to glue this down that way. And I'm going to probably do quite a bit of gold paint on this apple to make it more shiny and sparkly gold. And then keep the creepy, I don't know how well you can see the creepy blue hand. In person, it is kind of, it's just fun. You can see it's like as if it was dark photography, but but you can see all the veins and you can tell it's really a hand. It's really quite cool. Like, I really think it's neato. I like it. Okay, so now we have Paul Smith over here. The hand is going to be crossing him. I like when things cross. We have a stack of books for him to stand on. I think we need to, I like that this is going to be contrasty. I think at least over here, I need to have a border. Ooh, and I kind of like that it has this, that's the edge of the bookshelf. So I'm going to cut this off of here. We're going to put that right along there. You know, if I could cut straight as a magazine collager, I feel like that would be a skill. All right, perfect. Sort of perfect. Close enough. Okay, there we go. All right. Paul Smith with his stack of books. Do we have I have another one of those. I almost think I don't want a border around there, but I kind of like the idea of having something go, oh, what's this? Oh, that goes all the way across. Okay, so here, let's do this over here. Or we could do this over here. Do we want it to be a little wider? Yeah. Okay, so let's do this over here. And you never know, I may wind up coloring those books or doing something, but at least it gives me a border idea, right? Okay, so then we like this. That's almost the perfect size, huh? It will not be distracting. Oh, I did not glue nearly far down enough. Here we go. That's there. Now let's put Paul Smith on. And he is, yes, going to be in the back. Okay, so a fun thing I wanted to do, so I want to put a border across the bottom that the hand can break. Okay, so see what I'm saying? This border goes across the bottom and then the hand is over top of that. You'll see as we do things with it that that's going to make a huge difference, because that makes you notice it, because it breaks the plane of this border. Okay, but we're going to do something super fun, because I have been humming away to If You Don't Know Me By Now. So I am going to put that at the very bottom of the page, and I will probably color it with India ink, and you'll be able to see it, but it won't be white like this is. But you and I will all know that I was over here humming If You Don't Know Me By Now. And that's also going to be behind that hand. Isn't it funny, out of a fashion magazine, I don't have any fashion girls. But this is kind of fun and different. Okay, so now we have Paul Smith's stacks of books. Let's put that down. Because we want it to break up a little bit, right? We don't want it to all be one so homogeneous thing. Gotta wait for a little Nouveau to fall down. Get his beautiful foot on there. Get him on there. And then we're gonna glue down our beautiful hand and apple. Now I have to say, this is really a different design for me. Usually I do big-eyed girls and stuff like that, but I think it's fun to try things that you're not always doing, right? And obviously I'll be doing other designs out of that magazine. There we go. We got our hand with our big apple over top of Paul Smith. Okay, so I love how this is starting. I'm going to doodle. I'm going to do a bunch of stuff to this. I used almost everything. I didn't use this guy, and I think he's distracting from the rest of the page. So I'm going to do some work on this, and I will be back. All right. When you saw this, you might not have thought this was going to be very exciting, but I wanted to show you. I have been coming in here. I have a few different kinds of acrylic paint that is gold, so I'm gonna just keep putting layers on this apple. I don't want it to be totally solid. I guess I could have primed it with a color like white and then gotten a completely solid version. But what I want to do is I want to layer so I get all kinds of different dimension and tones of gold in here. And I know that this probably doesn't look super exciting as a project, but I have some tricks up my sleeve after we get past this stage of just layering gold paint on here. So let me get my layers of paint on here, and then I will come back to you. Okay, so I decided we're gonna mixed media this, because this I think is really cool. And this front piece is gonna be like va-va-voom, and then the back is going to be plainer, okay? So the back is gonna be, it's gonna have some stuff, don't worry, but this is gonna be the feature of this piece. So the first thing I wanna do is, and I just need a piece of cardstock. There we go, because I am just going to cut this squiggle out. I might cut out 2 squiggles. Let's cut out 2 squiggles. Now you can't, on this, I'm using my Sizzix Sidekick. So let's put our hand over here for a minute. On this Sizzix Sidekick, you can't do 2 sets. It's a weensy cutting machine. So, and then we need to get it, it can only be as wide as the machine is. Okay? So we can't mess around with it. It can only be as wide as the machine is, because you'll see. But I love that it's small, so that I can put it right on my desk, pull it out, cut this out, and move along, right? I don't have to grab my giant big shot out. And that is going to cut that little squiggle for me right out. And I want it to be super delicate. I don't want it to be a ton of stuff. Okay. Here we go. I'm sorry, you're probably wiggling. Okay, so now we can put our Sidekick away. We can put our Sidekick plates away. Uh-oh. I hope I didn't break it. If I did, that's no big deal, because this second one is just for squiggles. All right, let's poke this out. How it's super fine, super delicate. And I'm gonna pause you, and then I'll be right back when it's done. Okay, you're back. So now what I wanna do is I wanna take my embossing pad and my black, do I have very fine embossing powder? Super fine detail, super fine detail. Okay, so now what I wanna do is I wanna take my embossing pad and I want to get these all nice and juicy and then pour black embossing powder over them. But I don't want to waste all that embossing liquid. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do this, right? And they might move around a little bit, but I'm just trying to get that front side of them done. Okay, so now we're gonna do this. We're gonna take our very fine, super fine black embossing powder. And I just always pour it all out, because it doesn't matter, especially when you're going over something like this where you're trying to get the tops of stuff. Super fine. Okay, there we go. And then, see, we didn't get it all, but we'll do it again. Don't you worry. Let's get this other piece out. Boop, boop. There should be one more in there. There she is. Okay. And then we're going to pour out this embossing. And now we're going to emboss all of it. So that means we're going to heat it with a heat gun. Okay. So now I have super cool black embossing. I can die cut this, I can ink it, I can do all that, but I want to go ahead and I use this little embossing tray because it has a hole in it. and then what you do is you just dump your powder back in. And people always ask me, so I'll tell you, I get it on Amazon, and it's like $7 or $8. It's the best thing ever. All right, so I want to do this one more time and get it really ooey gooey on here. So I'm going to especially try to get the places that I don't feel like got inked before. Okay. Ooey gooey. And I have a whole video about doing embossing if you're stressed out and you don't know how to emboss. And I'll make sure to include a link to that. But this is going to make these look super cool. Okay, here we go. So let's pick these up now. They should be fully covered this time. All right, we got a little tiny bit. Let's see if we can get it on there. Yep, we got some powder on it. And at the very least, I'm not going to do it again. I can go over with a little bit of black Posca pen if it doesn't cover it. And I got to go get Wally. I'll be right back. Okay, if you're going to do fine detail embossing like this, there is one tool, because I don't always recommend all the tools I have to you because I'm a little crazy that way. But Tim Holtz has called these squeezers, and to me, hold on, let me get all my super fine black embossing powder in there. Okay. It feels to me like they really are squeezers, right? Instead of tweezers. So look, what happens is when you clamp down on this, it holds itself. I'm not holding that closed, it's holding itself closed. So now I can go in and emboss it without hurting my hands. All right, cool. So that is gonna make a wicked cool background someday. Okay, all right, so now we have these guys. So the next thing I want to emboss is this apple. And I am going to use, boop, boop, boop. I thought I had gold. I do have gold. I am going to use gold superfine powder. Now this, I want to use a distress embossing pen for. So what we're going to do on this one is we're going to go around and we're going to do this in sections, right? I'm going to do a little bit and then I'm going to check it. And then I'm going to do a little bit and then I'm going to check it and see how it looks. Because you can always put on more embossing. You can't take it off because it's melted plastic. So we want to be careful we don't do too much and make it look doofy. Right, okay, woo. I love embossing. It may be my favorite art thing because it's so fulfilling, right? You're putting stuff down, you're melting paint, you're melting plastic. Okay, so I don't really see any along the outside, but I am going to go along and do this because if you can see any embossing powder, whether or not it was stuck to something, it will emboss and then it'll be stuck to your page. All right, I got a little gold on the fingers, which is fine because I'm going to go back in with some black. Okay, now so I kind of like that. I don't want to color the whole apple, but there's some problematic places, right? Like there's a problematic place right in here where there was, in the advertisement, there was a like a set of earrings or something like that. So I'm going to cover that up because it annoys me. Okay, I'm also going to get right here in this V of her hand, and I'm going to get in here, and I'm going to get right down here. And I'm sure you can't see it, but there is a sheen to this embossing pen, so I can see it where I poured it. I don't know what that little circly bit is in my embossing powder. Okay, so we are going to have to do a little bit of sweeping. So I like to get a nice soft brush to sweep. So we got a lot on the fingers this time because we got closer to them. So I want to sweep all of this off the fingers or it will emboss the fingers, right? Right. And I don't mind overly much if they emboss, but okay. So let's hit this. Okay. So now I'm going to put this away. Well, maybe not yet. So I'm going to do a couple more embossing things here. Number one, there's like a chain that goes around on here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dot, 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 dot. And we're going to see how that looks. Oh, I think that looks cool. Come on, tap, tap, tap. Okay. So I think that looks great. I'm going to have to sweep. And kind of when you sweep, you break the tension between the powder and the page or the static electricity. So now when I tip it over, and tap it, more of it should come off, in theory. Okay, so that's going to be good enough for me. And we emboss. All right, I think that's it for this color. We are going to do white embossing. Super fine white. Okay, so we're going to do this now. We're going to do white on this ring. We're going to do white on this bracelet. And we're going to do white on this bracelet. And here's a tip about embossing, since I forgot to put my gold away. Number one, you do have to get the embossing powder on the embossing liquid when it's wet. Okay, so that embossing liquid will evaporate. So if you put it on, the embossing liquid on, and then you go away and then you come back, it won't the embossing powder won't stick. It just won't, because all your embossing liquid will have evaporated. Now, that having been said, once you put the embossing powder onto it, you can leave it sit forever like this. It'll just soak into that and leave the rest of it. Or even if you tip it off, it doesn't matter. It's still going to stay days later. Super fine white is the finest embossing powder. And when I say finest, I don't mean the best. I mean the most fine. I need a little bit of a stiffer brush to try to sweep some of this off. There we go. So we don't wind up with super fine quite all over. And one thing about tapping it is you could be tapping some off the actual project, right? There we go. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do with the embossing tonight. Oh no, I lied to you. I lied to your face. Because we have those squiggles, right? All right, let's get our squiggles back. You're probably going, what about the squiggles? All right, let's do this. And I think I kind of want it. All right, I may wait. Oh, I don't really want to wait to put these on because I want to do stuff around them. Okay, that for sure I want right there. I think I'm going to use Mod Podge because I can do it out. Do I want to do Mod Podge? I don't want to do Mod Podge because I want to be able to kind of dye around these. So I'm going to do a fine tip. Oh, here it is. I'm actually going to use my super fine tip art glitter glue. Art glitter glue is cool. It has this really skinny schnozzle, but if you don't put it away, it the nozzle gums up. So if you're not a good closer, this may not be the glue for you. I'm not a good day-to-day closer, so it's really hard for me to use art glitter glue. There we go. That's just what I want. Let's kind of push it down in there and give it a second. All right, a good thing to use to keep your stuff stuck down is an acrylic block because it won't really stick to an acrylic block. What's going on? Oh yeah, I'm like, where did the oogs come from? Oh, the oogs came from my acrylic block. And I'm trying to get some on all the parts of this squiggle. Okay, we need an acrylic block. We don't have one. Let's go with this. Boink. Okay, cute. Okay, and then this is going to come over here. I just thought with that fun, creepy hand and Paul Smith, it would be fun to do some extra little bits of bling on this one, right? Right. Let's put this squiggle down here. Acrylic block squish, acrylic block squish. Let's leave the block on there for a second. Close up your art glitter glue and we're out. I'm going to tonight be doing some outlining, some dyeing, some stuff like that, and I will be back tomorrow. Okay, I'm letting you into my bedroom where I do my doodling with really bad lighting. But I wanted to show you that I'm at the point in this design where I'm sure it's nothing but crap and I hate it and it's never going to get any better. I haven't done any shading. I've done a tiny bit of doodling and outlining, but I promise you it will get better and we'll wind up loving it in the end. Okay, so I showed you how I hated it and how I was sure I had ruined everything before I shaded and colored and did things like that. So I have one last step. Let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to take some Ranger Archival ink, which is a permanent ink, and I want to really go along this edge and get a dark smudgy bits around it to outline it. And you may not be able to tell a difference on the video, but in real life, this is really making it a little grungy, a little dark. It's framing it. It's kind of helping with the creepy vibe. I'm super happy with it. Okay, so things that I did since I talked to you. I did more shading of the colors around here. I did the bottom with like a caramel color and then like a tan color, and that really knocked that back. I outlined the books. I outlined the guy. I shaded his crown, and I shaded his, I didn't want him to be as prominent as he was showing up, right? Because we had that really bright yellow and kind of the red clown suit. So I did a bunch of shading with that, and he kind of got knocked back. His hands were really distracting from my feature, which we'll talk about in a minute. So I made his hands blue. I mixed turquoise and a blue color, and I think that came out amazing. I did outlining this with black India ink. And then what really did it for me, and this is why you keep going. Don't let yourself become upset and say, I've ruined everything. This is the worst thing I've ever done. I went around with the Posca pen and outlined the hand and outlined the apple with, I do this a lot, with a line and a dot and a line and a dot. You could do it with just lines. You could do it with just dots. But that really made this finger defined, and it really made that part of it the focus of the piece. Now, this is really funny to me. This one kind of, this squiggle, embossed squiggle, kind of fades into the background. I was really surprised that these two squiggles turned out to be almost my favorite part of the piece besides the big weird hand. And I like the way it came out now. I would say this is one of my more favorite non-girl pieces. So hopefully that helps this one magazine collage with another magazine. Tara Jacobsen, Artsy Fartsy Life.